Hello everybody, today I will play through Pokemon Emerald using only a wingull. The rules are only use wingull in combat, no items in battle, don't use double team, don't use glitches or cheats. The start is always the same. Wake up in the back of a truck, meet your mom, set the clock, go to your rival's house, meet them, and then go save the professor. I used the Universal Pokemon randomizer to change Mudkip for a wingull, since they are both water. I reset until I get a modest nature. It's not the best, but I can work with it. After the Zigzagoon goes down, we can nickname our starter. I usually don't do it, but there is only one name for a wingull in Gen 3. Next, we face our rival for the first time, and I wiped once because I could not do enough damage with only water gun. After leveling up a bit, we can get through. Next up is the Team Aqua Grant in the forest, who wants to steal some stuff from this researcher. As you might expect, he is very easy and goes down with just 2 hits. After the researcher thanks us, we make our way to the first gym. Roxanne uses rock-type Pokemon, and even if we have Water Gun, they still do a lot of damage with rock moves. I have to reset a few times, but with a tiny bit of luck because of a Rock Tomb miss, we can win the match and get our first badge, as well as the Rock Tomb TM, but we can't use that. After that, we have the most important quest, rescue Peeko from another Team Aqua Grant. He tries to run away from us because he knows what's coming. We then fight and put his Poochyena under the ground, like the first time we met, and return Peeko safely to the old guy. To return the favor, he takes us to the island with the second badge, and because we are not very overleveled, we actually wipe twice, even if we have the type advantage, because they set up with Pulk Up and heal with Potion. The third try is the charm though, and we can manage to win it, even though it is still very close, and we survive with just 5 HP. After we get the second badge, we can move on and face May on the bridge. She is also very close, but this time it's my fault because I forgot to use water gun against Slugma, and it hit us with a rock throw a couple of times for good damage. The Grovyle, on the other hand, gets one-shotted by a crit wing attack. Once she is defeated, it's time to grind, because as usual Wattson is a nightmare. I had to reset a bunch of time, and I can finally win at level 44. Voltorb and Electric are a one-shot, but for Manectric we have to use Supersonic and hope that hits himself multiple times. We can proceed to Magneton with full HP. He almost one-shots us, but we confuse him, and after a couple of turns he goes down too. After some exploration, we can meet Team Aqua and Magma in Meteorfall Cave, arguing about Maxi and the volcano and their plans, so we climb the mountain and face against him to stop the volcano activation. Maxi is not very strong. His mighty and intimidate does not affect us. Zubat is very weak, and Camerupt gets one-shotted by water gun. After that, we can make our way to the fourth gym. Flanette and her fire types don't stand a chance against us, since we have a super effective move, and every single one of her Pokemon get one-shotted by our water gun, even the Torkoal, since it has bad special defense. After we get the badge and the useless TM for overhit, we have to make our way back to our dad for the next gym challenge. The Spinda goes down with a crit, and that's good, otherwise it would have confused us. Vigorot and Linoon do some damage, but not much, and I confuse the slacking because he can do massive damage. With some luck, he hits himself multiple times. Norman also uses lots of hyper potions, but after a while he runs out. Slacking manages to hit us once and take us very low, but soon after we can take him out with one last water gun. After he is defeated, we get the TM for Surf, but Pico can't learn it unfortunately, and we proceed to the flying gym. I taught Pico Shockwave, and with it Swablu is a one-shot. Next is Tropios, who we can deal with using wing attack. Pelipper and Skarmory both go down to one Shockwave, but the Altaria is a problem. It sets up multiple dragon dances, but thankfully never attacks us. We don't do much damage, so Winona can heal it with potions, but after a bunch of turns it goes down. After we grab the sixth badge, we have to deal with Maxi again when he wakes up Groudon. This time he is stronger. The mighty Hyena survives a hit and confuses us with Swagger. We get through it the first turn, but hit ourselves the second, and snap out the third. After he is defeated, the Camerupt is a one-shot, and his last Pokemon Crobat does good damage, but we can win with two Shockwaves. The next gym leader are Tate and Liza. They are as usual very hard, because 2v1. I had to grind all the way to level 80 with some rare candies. Even at this level, the fight is very close. The problem is that they use light screen to halve our damage, and can take us out with ancient power or psychic. Also, Calm Mind reduces our damage even more, while making them do more to us. Thankfully, this time I live with very low HP and can earn our seventh badge. Once we are done with them, we have to deal with the double fight with Steven. This time it's not hard, but it takes a long time. The mighty hyenas intimidates are useless against us, since we are mostly a special attacker. The Camerats, as usual, go down in one shot because of their double weakness to water. Steven's Metang wastes some time going for screens, but once he starts attacking, he can do some solid damage and turn it into a 2v1. And soon after, we win the fight and can proceed with the main story of the game. Our next objective is stopping Archie from waking up Kyogre. We get there before him, but he challenges us to a fight. The mighty hyena goes down in one turn, but does good damage to us. The Crobat comes out, and we manage to outspeed it and one-shot it with a crit. His last Pokemon, the Sharpedo, goes down in one shockwave too. Even if he lost, he wakes up Kyogre using the wrong orb, so now both Water Titans are free and enraged. After Kyogre leaves, Team Magma reaches us, and both teams realize that they screwed up. After they leave, Steven arrives and tells us to meet him in Sutopolis. We arrive and find Groudon and Kyogre fighting. We meet up with Steven and he takes us to meet Wallace at the Cave of Origins. Wallace tells us to go fetch Rayquaza from the tower. We go there and find Wallace, but he leaves immediately. After climbing the tower, we wake up Rayquaza, and he flies away to stop the other two legendaries in a cool cutscene. After that issue is solved, we speak with the two team leaders and they realize their mistakes before leaving. Wallace thanks us with the waterfall TM. I leave to go buy Ice Beam from the casino and return to fight Juan. His team is kinda tanky, but we have Shockwave for most of it. Ludwig is a one-shot. Next up is Whiscash. Shockwave is not effective, so I use Ice Beam, but he survives and uses Amnesia. With a Hyper Potion, he can tank two more Ice Beams and confuses me with Water Pulse. We can get through and finish him, but we hit ourselves against the Celio. Then we snap out and one-shot him. Next is his ace Kingdra. Against him I use Ice Beam and get a lucky crit to take him out. His last Pokemon is a Kronaast, but given his low special defense, he gets one-shotted. Juan gives us the Water Pulse TM and I immediately teach it to peeko. In Victory Road we get ambushed by an old friend. Wally's team is not very strong. We can one-shot Altaria with Ice Beam, Magneton with Water Pulse, Delcatty with another Water Pulse. The Gardevoir can tank one hit because of his special defense, but only uses Future Sight and goes down next turn. His last Pokemon, the Roselia, goes down with one last Ice Beam. After Wally, we make our way to the league, but we have to grind all the way to level 96 before we can win. The first Elite Four is Sidney. His dark types are not very strong. In fact, every single one of them goes down with just one hit. And the final Kronaast would die to a shock wave, but I misclick, so we have to attack him twice. The next Elite Four is Phoebe. Her Dusclops spams Protect, but once he fails, we can take it out. The first Banette is a one-shot. The second Dusclops survives and does some damage with Rock Slide, but dies next turn. The second Banette is also a one-shot, and the Sableye goes down by a Water Pulse. The third Elite Four is a bit more scary, because her Pokémon are kinda tanky, but we can use Shockwave for the first Cereal. Next is the first Glalie, and it's a two-shot. After him it's the second Celio, and thankfully is also a one-shot. Next is the second Glalie, who I thought was a three-shot, but with min-max damage it goes down in the second turn. Her last Pokemon and ace is Walrein. Shockwave does a good amount of damage, but the Walrein hurts us with Ice Beam. It does not freeze, so we can win the match next turn. The final Elite Four is Drake, and for once he is actually very easy. Shelgon dies to an Ice Beam. Salamence is a one-shot. Altaria is also a one-shot. Kingdra lives, but decides to waste the turn with Dragon Dance, and goes down next turn. His last Pokemon is Flygon, and he also gets one-shotted. At the end, we are face to face with the champion, and even if we have a super effective move, his Pokemon are too tanky and defeat us. That's why I had to level up so much. Our higher level allows us to one-shot the Walrein with Shockwave, and the Tentacruel 2 with a crit. The Milotic was the problem, because it would stall me out, but this time it's two-shot. The Ludicolo goes down after a few wing attacks and full restores from the champion. Once he's down, Whiscash comes out, and with a couple of water pulses it goes down, but does good damage with Surf. Gyarados thankfully goes down to a Shockwave, otherwise we would have died to Hyper Beam. And now we are champion, using only peeko in battle. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like, subscribe, and whatnot. Share, write a comment if you have any ideas, and see you next time.